Hello and welcome, viewers, to another episode here at Sage's Light Bulbs, where today we'll be looking at this really sort of unusual offering from Philips. Now, the first thing is that it's a CFL, okay? That's not especially remarkable. What is remarkable is the size of this, and not necessarily the weight. It's actually not that heavy. We'll weigh it on a scale later, but it is huge. Here's my hand. It's bigger than my hand. Inside, it's almost entirely empty. There's a tube in there, but the amount of empty space is somewhat shocking, although I understand that's how light refraction works. Or reflection, rather. Inside, you've got this double U-bend tube, which goes down and makes another U-bend and comes back up. It's actually quite long. I bet it'd be about the length of this table if it was all stretched out. But it's in there. Obviously a solid-state ballast, judging by the weight here. The only thing it says on here is Philips, 18 watts, Mexico, do not attempt to open. So, obviously, no mercury warning, so this is probably a pretty early product, and that is corroborated by just the excessive size. So let's weigh the unit now. Okay, here we go. It comes in at 8 ounces, which is actually very heavy. I think I was fooled by the physical size, and it actually does weigh a fair amount. So it's quite heavy and excessively large. Now, let's turn it on. Okay, there you go. You see a pretty quick start there on this bulb. And it doesn't take that long to warm up. But what is amazing is it's really not that bright. It's 18 watts, and it has definitely a directional nature to it, being that, well, just the way that it is, but it's honestly not that useful. You'd think for how huge it was, it would have some really amazing quality, but I'm not that impressed. The light quality itself is fairly good, but my only real guess here is that this came in a time before spiral CFLs, and so their only option to make a compact, fluorescent, directional bulb like this one was to put that huge double U-bend in there. But even so, they didn't make the tube very wide, so I don't know. It's confusing to me why they would make this in the first place. However, it dims fantastically. I'm going to point it away from the camera so you can see it better. Very smooth. Just perfect dimming, and it goes all the way down to 30 volts. And then it kind of does this glowy thing, where at the bottom it's just barely still going, but you can turn it up a little gradually there. And there it goes back on. Okay, so to conclude, the bulb is much too large, not that bright, and by modern standards, only marginally efficient. So really, doesn't have a whole lot of advantages other than the fact that the light itself produced is quite nice. So, but I just struggle to see who would have ever bought one of these. Like, what? I don't really feel like it's meant to be outside because this is all plastic, and I don't know who has this much room inside their house fixtures. I just don't see who would have bought this, but maybe it was for like restaurants or something, or maybe this was supposed to be exposed. I'm just not really sure. But certainly an interesting specimen. Have a wonderful day, viewers.